I've been concerned because I go on Facebook, I've been a blogger, and I've been very concerned lately with this growing tendency to do this pass opinions around, copy and paste, and put it on your opinion. Well, I never do that because, I don't want to take someone else's opinion and pass it off as yours. That's been done way too much in this country. It's like people are expected to do it. And I know my memoir, which I've just finished, Daughters of the Shadow Men, and I'm hoping to get out there, is all about dealing with some very complex issues that people did not help at all by simplifying them. For one, I was molested when I was very young, extremely young, 5 years old, and from there were two molesters became involved, and then there was another issue, homosexual activity on the part of my father that I came to think. Well, this was back in the old days, and you can imagine how people would, they wouldn't even talk about this subject. They'd just act like this was just the worst, terriblest thing. And here's someone like Michelle Bachmann, who is saying on a national forum that homosexuality lifestyle is, well, this is continuing to demonize the whole.
Well, you didn't say anything there.
Homosexual.
You didn't say anything.
What?
You said Michelle Bachmann.
Well, everyone sort of knows. I don't like to repeat.
Not everyone knows.
I don't like to repeat. Well, this is a style. This is a lifestyle from Satan. These people are very unhappy people. They need to be saved. Well, that. When you start
sounds like where you grow up, doesn't it?
Thousands and thousands of people, adults who are living a homosexual lifestyle, and you start condemning them again as if they haven't already been condemned over and over and over again, and from various. Well, I had to deal with this in a parent who was extremely suicidal. Which is a common thing, if you think that you're so bad,
what is
that people think you're bad.
No, wait a minute, what's this got to do with your basic premise about
my basic premise is you have to think.
Keep her on track.
You have to think about an issue because it's complex. There's many factors to consider. And if you just, go and listen to somebody preach and then go out repeating this opinion, or anyone, instead of thinking through.
They call it religion and politics.
I had to think through this. I love my father. I did not want to see him die, and I knew why. Because he was...
We all know why.
He was practicing something that people said was evil, and he couldn't help himself. I understood that as a child after studying him, thinking about him, and thinking about his suicide attempts. I said, this is not right for people to push these people towards suicide instead of, and the gay community has fought and fought and fought to establish a community that supports each other, that, this is for adults. What we have to worry about is when the pedophile turns up, who could be either homosexual or heterosexual. He could target little girls, he could target boys, and that is the person we need to worry about.
Well, how about the asexual person?
Well, what do you mean? It's like you have to figure out, you have to think. If you go around condemning everyone, you're not even going to be able to be effective in what you do fight, because you're not going to change a lot of people, adults who are living this lifestyle. You're not going to change them by condemning them again.
Oh, you'll change them.
But
You could torture them. You can put scars on them.
Oh yeah,
you can hang them from the nearest tree.
Oh,
disembowel them and rip them in half. You'll change
so
them.
I'm saying any tendency where
anymore.
you are encouraged to repeat something without thinking it through, without being convinced from your own thinking what is right about this, because every kind of policy, every kind of issue is more complex than just copying and pasting and repeating something. And there's another issue along this same line, say abortion. Well, what happened in the media is powerful voices in the media, columnists and so on across the nation, started telling everyone that abortion was the right solution, and pretty soon we have a whole generation and more of young people who've grown up with this, who have never questioned it. We have a president who spent 35 years with legalized abortion. How's he going to look at this? Different than me, who was 42 when this was passed. Well, I was thinking about this issue, saying, hey, anytime you settle for an abortion that kills somebody, this is not a good solution. It better to emphasize other solutions. Abortion is the last thing anybody should ever consider, and legalizing it just turn, you know, and then people don't like to think, the very liberals who are champion abortion rights don't like to even talk about how big a toll this is taking on children. A million abortions a year, something like that in our country. A million children. Well, that's something that, you know, we don't like to push to the forefront. So it's not Republicans, it's not Democrats alone that can be coerced into accepting an opinion without thinking it through. That's the litmus test. What kind of a solution is this? Think about it. Anytime you're going to a solution that requires violence, better think again about it. Better think, what else can we do? Well, it's the same thing with issues that are decided. Say that Republicans decide. So we're shaping up now to one of the, I think, is going to be one of the fiercest political battles we've ever had in this country.
I don't think so.
Oh, I do.
Oh, that's my personal opinion.
Yeah,
that's your opinion.
Because
Republicans can't get their crap together, and they won't get it together.
No, but they are getting it together.
They're going to put the worst candidate up there.
They are. Who? Not Michelle Bachmann. She's already, she's already showed that she's not a very good thinker. Rick Perry, now this is a scary guy.
What did I just say? They're going to put the worst candidate up there.
Rick Perry understands and that he's pro-life. What does that tell you about his thinking?
He's a Texan.
Yeah. Well, what does that tell you about his thinking?
Pro-Texan.
Oh, there's been liberals in Texas. Don't think there's not who don't believe that.
I know more about Texas than you do, and I don't even like those people. And I'm related to some of them.
Oh, yeah, sure. But I'm just saying, we had George Bush. Well, George Bush was pro-life. He was strongly pro-life. He did, you know, he was very dedicated to the issue until 9/11. And then he got distracted, totally distracted. And then the war, like, the guy who loved war came out. Well, does this jive with pro-life? What happened there? I mean, not one war was enough, 2 wars. And that last one is really what killed him. That's when people became very disillusioned with him, because it cost millions, raised the deficit astronomically, and it's just, and did he think through? That's what we base our judgment of him on. He did not think through the issues. He reacted emotionally. And so therefore, the pro-life issue hit not thought through, you come to decide, well, they told him that if he pushed this issue, that's what he needed to push to win, to help him over the top. So was he really a pro-life? Did he really believe in pro-life? What happened to that when he decided to start 2 wars? You see, the thinking was, and if we don't ask people to think that lead us, if we don't think ourselves, how in the world can we ask them to think? If we don't look at all these issues as complex of, you know, you have to stop, well, just what is about it that, you know, if you, like Michelle Bachmann, I can't imagine a politician getting up there and calling a whole group of people living Satan's lifestyle. What in the world was that all about? I thought, talk about, to me, Michelle Bachmann showed what a shallow thinker she was when she did that.
Right now, I'll tell you one thing right now. I didn't think this one was any better or any worse than any other Republican women up there. But when she went over to Elvis Presley's Graceland and thought that this was his birthday, and it was really the day that he had died, and somebody we're going to sing happy birthday to Elvis Presley, and somebody in the background, this is the day he died, dummy. Didn't stop her. Happy birthday. Yeah. Now that right there,
I think that's what we should do.
I knew right then and there, this is my kind of woman. This is my kind of woman that we need to have in the office. Not only does she doesn't know what's going on, she doesn't care when somebody tells her what's going on. What do you think about that? I like that.
Well, that's what, you know, I like to see women tackle and get out there and speak and express themselves. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but they better be thinking.
Well, I think, you know,
I'm not going to support that.
There are some people in this world, men, women, and whatever those other people are, that the best thing for you to do is just let them get out there and they will self-destruct. There's no way you can...
Oh, yes, by their own mouth, by their own words. And as far as Obama's concerned, people keep saying, he can't inspire us. He just can't. Well, the party. How can you be inspired when the party's platform is abortion rights? The party's platform is separation of church and state. In other words, they have told that Obama, in so many words, they don't want a man who gets up and prays and does like Martin Luther King did. That is not the kind of candidate that the Democratic Party. I'm a Democrat, but I'm a pro-life Democrat. And so I looked at my party and I said, what in the world did you do? Saddled yourself with abortion rights. Everybody's going to get tired of death. Everybody gets tired of death, including you guys. So,
what?
The Democrats. I mean, you wouldn't think that they'd never get tired. Well, Pelosi.
I thought Pelosi, two people that actually looked at this, right?
When Obama was elected, she held him to the promise that he would fight for untouchable abortion rights.
I do not believe that.
Oh, yes. Well, you weren't even involved at that time. Untouchable abortion rights is what she wanted in that Obamacare.
Well, what's this got to do with Facebook?
Well, I'm just saying, what happened to her? By her own beliefs, by her own lack of thinking about what abortion is all about, that there's something wrong with it. Death. You know, she was defeated in the House.
You're closer to death than anybody that I know.
Pro-life Speaker of the House, Boner. Well, is he that much smarter? But he was smarter on that topic.
Boner?
But Pelosi could not give up her, you would have thought,
well, what's this got to do with
that abortion rights were the cornerstone of America, for heaven's sake. And, you know, there's something wrong with it. That's what the Democrats, they have to think. They have to just not
I quit.
Promote abortion rights without thinking through, is this the best solution? And accepting the fact that they need to have better solutions and support them, not just expect other people to do it. Because they're eventually going to say the Democrats are fixed. They cannot change their mind on a bad solution. They're going to support it. Okay, they're going to go down supporting abortion rights, looks to me like. They're, rather than change, rather than accept criticism of what abortion rights is wrong with it, they're going to go right down to defeat. They got to have proved to them that you can't build a party on abortion rights, a party platform. It's too important. It's too important. And I would say the Democratic Party lost momentum. They lost conviction. Conviction, because nobody can be totally convinced that that has to happen. They can't be totally convinced and supportive of a policy that causes the death of people who can't even defend themselves. The unborn, the fetus. Because whether you like it or not, that's a human being on the way to being born. And so we need to think. We need to think about our opinions and what they mean and what we're supporting, rather than just blindly supporting what the party said or what the preacher said or what this one or that one. Think through and decide for yourself. Be able to answer what people criticize this. Listen to what people are saying. Other people are saying, rather than just blind, no, we're not going to listen. We're supporting this and that's all there is to it. And, that's what I wanted to say this morning.